Hello and welcome to episode 3 of Spirit Rebels podcast. I am Shelley and I am here with the beautiful
Helen. I didn't sing
You
it
didn't
this
sing
week.
it. Right. I
No.
feel like we need to do that again because, sing it immediately. I am Shelley and I'm here with the beautiful.
Helen.
There we are. There we are. It's been a long day, everyone. It's been a very long day. Poor Helen's
It
been in
has
traffic for the
indeed.
last 4 hours, I think. She's done. She's done in. There's nothing like being stuck in traffic to swizzle one's mind. But tonight we are going to unswizzle everything, aren't we? I am so excited about this episode. And I'm going to hand over to Helen because it was actually someone who Helen knows has requested this episode, I do believe.
Yeah. So my lovely dear friend Emma asked if we were doing an episode on meditation because it's something that I think she struggles with, a bit like myself with the mind shutting down a little bit. And I said, oh, funny enough, yes, we've got that in our schedule, but it was much further on. So we've brought it forward. And my dear friend Emma's son has just gone off traveling. So I know that she is, like all of us mums would be, a little bit sad. And so I want to dedicate this episode to you, Em. We're sending you much love, and hopefully you'll learn something about meditation this episode so that you can go and meditate and bring yourself to a sense of Zen.
Sounds good. That sounds really good. But before we float our way into a beautiful meditative state, and we did discuss whether or not we were going to actually do some meditation, didn't we? But then we realized that a
Yeah.
lot of folks listen when they're driving and doing very practical things, and we don't want anyone falling asleep at the wheel. So that
No,
we'll
we
keep
can't
that
afford to be
separate.
sued.
No, we can't. No, we can't. So we'll keep that separate. But before we float our way into meditation tonight, how has your week been, Hells?
Oh my God. So we're recording at a slightly different time to when we normally would. And it's just come off the back of all of that bad weather. What was it? Storm Bert? Is that what it was?
Oh, did they name this one? I never
Oh,
pay
I
any
think it was Storm
attention.
Bert. I could be wrong. But obviously, I live in the south of the country. Shelley lives in the north of the country. So, I used to live up your way, Shelley, for many years. And we used to have horrible storms out in snowstorms out in County Durham. So, what was the snow like this last week for you?
Well, interesting story. So Saturday morning, Saturday, it was the day of the Melanoma Me charity ball that I am a trustee of, and I go at the ball each year and whatnot. And the plan was to get down to Ramside Hall, nice big posh hotel venue. We're staying over and everything. Me and Paul, kids were away, and we were going to be taking the dog to Paul's mum's early in the morning, driving down to help get set up and sort the tables out and everything else. Have a lovely relaxing afternoon and then have a nice slow get ready, go at the ball, everything wonderful. Oh, it did not go to plan. So
Oh no.
so 5 to 8, about 10 to 5 to 8 in the morning. I went outside see if the car needed defrosting. We were due to leave at about 1/4 past and see if the car needed defrosting. Also, I've had a slow puncture. So you were talking about tires and wheels and stuff
Yeah.
the other week. Well, it was me this week, but we had that fixed this morning. All is well. Um, anyway, so check the tire as well. And there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing. 10 to 8, there was nothing at all. And I thought, oh, is it starting to rain? And I went, oh, is that a bit sleety? And came in the house and said to Paul, I think it's a bit sleety rain out there. And he was like, oh, well, they've said it's going to snow. Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so got the dog ready, got all the bags downstairs, everything sorted, opened the door to go and get everything in the car, and it was an absolute whiteout. We were like, holy shit,
Oh
what
my
the hell's going on?
goodness.
But bear in mind, now I'm not going to criticize because whatever, but the roads, there was no grit on the roads, there was nothing had
No.
been done to the roads, even the main roads. So
Even though they knew this storm was coming.
well, we've had warning. I mean, I don't know about you, but Google's been telling me there's going to be winter weather all weekend for the past
Yeah.
freaking fortnight. But maybe I'm just in a position of advantage here with my Google weather notifications. Anyway, I'm pulling some funny faces. So we get the dog in the car, bags in the car, everything in the car, us, and I'm like, oh God, I really don't want to drive in this. But as soon as we hit the main roads, it'll be fine. Helen? It was not fine.
Oh
We
no.
didn't even make it to Paul's mum's house, which is 10 minutes away from ours. We ended up getting stuck on this bank. And I don't know about you, but I mean, I've always been quite confident driving in wintry weather. I grew up in it. I took my test in February when there was snow all over the roads anyway. And I know that if you just keep going, even up hills, bends, slow and steady away, just keep going, you're fine. But there's always someone who decides to get onto a hill and then brake halfway up a hill. And you just say, no, 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 no. So, stream of traffic, one little person up at the front decides to stop halfway up this hill. So, everyone ends up having to stop. No one can get going again. There's a freaking bus trying to get down the other side. I mean, you can't see the road like at all. It's absolutely white. Um, I then could not get enough traction to get going. I had to let myself roll all the way back down the hill and get turned around.
Oh
Long
no.
story short, after a little bit of shaking and stress, we'd managed to get back to Prudhoe. That's the town I live in, or the yeah, is Prudhoe a town? Yes, town. Now Prudhoe is like a hill. It's literally all a hill, and I thought I'm not even going to, after what I've just been through, I'm not even going to chance trying to get either up to our estate or down to our estate because you can come in from both ways. So we actually abandoned the car in the co-op car park, grab the dog, the bag with all the snacks in, and walk down home. Now, I'm so lucky that I'm lazy because the other week I looked and I went, oh, my walking boots are in the car. Why have I left my walking boots in the car? I should really take them in the house, but I can't be bothered, so I'm going to leave them in the car. I love that version of me on Saturday
Yeah.
morning. I was like, "Ooh," walking around in my little trainers that's going to get absolutely soaking wet. No, no, I have walking boots in the car. So I was very grateful for that.
So did
So
you
what,
not go to your ball then? Did you not
well,
get to go?
came home, gave it a couple of hours, and by then the roads had cleared. So we were able to set up about lunchtime-ish, we set off. And then we get there. Like, honest to God. We get there and get checked in and everything. We'd organise an early check-in because we were meant to be there helping. And I felt awful for poor Kerry because I'd said she did have lots of helpers, but I wanted to help. You know what it's like.
Yeah.
And we get there, we get checked in this lovely room, and we've sat down for 5 minutes. And like Paul was gonna have a lovely long bath, and I was gonna have a shower, and then lie and read me book for a couple of hours and have a snuggle and whatnot. And I was like, "What is that noise?" And then we realized there's a freaking hole in the ceiling, and water's like dripping in the room. I mean,
Oh
this
no.
is a fancy pants hotel, so I'm just like, right, okay, so. I turned to the bedside table where the phone normally is, picks up the phone thingy to ring reception. No dial tone on the phone at all. I later finds out that actually that was a defunct telephone because there was a one on the desk thing over by the mirror that actually worked. But why have a useless phone? Anyway,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Ridiculous.
I go down to reception. I'm all like, just to let you know, blah blah. And I mean, the girl was lovely. She really, really was. But she was like, all right, well, we'll get your room changed, don't worry. And then we waited. We didn't want to like, get unpacked or undressed or have the
Hmm.
showers and the baths or anything else because we were like, well, they're going to come and move. And guarantee the minute you stepped into the shower, there would be someone knock at the
Yeah.
door. So we're waiting and we watched a lovely wildlife program called My Best Friend's an Animal about a girl who
Yeah.
had a pet pigeon who was her best friend, which was a bit on the odd side, but whatever, um, pet pigeons. And then they finally came and moved us, and they did upgrade our room, which was really nice. We had a bathroom. Bear in mind that our priority was a lovely big hot bath and hot shower and stuff. And the bathroom was as big as the bloody bedroom. I swear, it was lush. We didn't have any time to enjoy it because we were then in a mad rush to get
Hmm.
ready. But we had a lovely night, and yeah, but weather-wise, it was pretty crazy.
What
Well,
about the next day though, when you were trying
thing.
to leave?
Well, there was when we got home, there was absolutely nothing. The fields were green, the roads were black. There was
Oh my
nothing at
goodness.
all. And so we were like driving home going 24 hours ago. Like it was like
Mm.
a different world. It came and went in a flash,
Oh,
let's just
I'd be
say.
so stressed. Well, because so on the Wednesday, I had the Wednesday and Thursday off, and
Uh-huh.
I went down to Plymouth to watch Jason Manford with my
Oh yeah.
friend.
Uh-huh.
Oh my god, it was hilarious. Laughed our heads off. But then if you heard the door opening, then guys, that was my daughter walking in and out of the room. Absolutely no respect for the fact we are, live recording here. So sorry about that, guys. And I was in a bit of stress all night, really, because I knew this weather front was coming in, but woke up on Thursday morning in Plymouth. No sign of any rain, snow, anything. It was just really cold. But my family had woke up in East Devon saying, oh, actually, there's snow everywhere. So Lily couldn't get to school, got back to my friend's house, then picked up my car, and lo and behold, driving down the day before, the bloody tyre light comes on. You would not believe
No,
it.
not
So I
again.
stopped
Oh
on the hard
God.
shoulder and checked it all, and I think it was, I'm hoping, because it's touch wood, it has stayed, but I think it was the change in temperature changing so
Yeah.
much, like maybe like a minuscule bit had changed or whatever.
Yeah.
So I managed to get as far as Honiton, and then it just was just awful. So my drive back into my hamlet where I live was absolutely stressful. Had to go miles out of my way. My car was sliding all over. I was like, oh my goodness. And then the Friday it was all snowy again. So Lily had 2 days off school because we couldn't even, because I'm on a hill,
Uh-huh.
we couldn't get up or down.
No.
So yeah, it was very, very stressful. And then the rain came in, and then loads of Devon flooded. So,
No.
so yeah, Storm Burke caused chaos, because you know us Brits, we can't cope with
No,
any form of weather.
no.
Even though we know that it's coming, we are just never prepared, are we?
No.
Ever.
Extreme heat, extreme cold, extreme wet. We just know we just like to live in the middle ground, don't we, weather-wise?
Exactly.
Just like drizzly.
Exactly. But prior to that, I'd gone out a few nights before. I sound like I'm a bit of a socialite. This is very rare, guys. It was just a bit of a freak, like, you know, lots of invites. But I've been out for dinner with two of my lovely friends who listen to this podcast.
Hello, lovely
Kate
friends. I'm
yeah,
waving.
Kate and Joe. Kate and
Hey,
Joe.
Joe. Hi, Kate
I love
Joe.
the shout out. And we were just happened to be talking about the podcast, funnily enough. And they said to me, oh, so you have a script then with what you're going to say? And I went, no. And they said, well, you must have bullet points about what you're talking about. I said, literally, all we know is the title, as in what the subject matter is. Actually, not even a title. I should say subject matter.
A theme, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and then we just chat, don't we?
We do.
They were really surprised that we don't have it more planned than that.
Oh God, it would drive me mad. Paul laughs at me or laughs at us because, you know, well, I tend to not go into much. I don't think there's much that I actually plan. I mean, if I'm doing anything where there's handouts involved, like which school, where they take a pack of information away, that's there and ready. But I very rarely plan anything because I think, I don't know, I think when things come from the heart, they can literally just come from the heart, if that makes any sense. Long day, everyone. Long day.
Oh,
long
dear. I love it. I love it. But well, Shelley, I wouldn't have it any other way. I love the fact we just see what comes out on mouths. I mean, potentially that could be quite dangerous, but hey, let's just see what happens.
Some days.
Moving on then.
Yes.
Today, all about meditation. And this is a very passionate and strong subject matter for you, isn't it? Because you are a big meditator.
It is. And I think my aim, I'm waving my fingers around, my aim for this session, this episode, is to dispel myths and to have people feeling more comfortable about meditation in different forms, and to encourage people who, to quote Helen, just aren't very good at meditating.
That is me, yes.
Bear in mind, everyone, she did say she wasn't very good at manifesting, but then decided to pull a pink car into her sights, you know, within a matter of days. But yeah. So I want to dispel some myths, and I want to talk about what meditation is not. And I want to, well, you know what I'm like, Helen. I'm not a one for rules, and this whole it has to be done like this, or it's not valid. You know, there's a lot of, what's the word I'd use? Ego around meditation, I think, which is ironic considering it's something that's, you know, meant to like heal one's ego and dispel the more negative sides of one's ego. But there's a lot of snobbery, meditation snobbery, and there's a lot of meditation ego around this sort of stuff. And I want to get rid of all of that because I don't like rules, and I don't like people saying it has to be done a certain way, otherwise it's not valid or it's not doing anything for you. Because, you know, it's just it's important to kind of get to the bottom as to the reasons as to why we should meditate or what meditation
Mm.
actually does for us in its many forms. So I'm going to ask you, I'm going to turn the tables around and I'm going to ask you. You said to me when we first started, like we kind of came on the call together, and you said, "Oh, I'm interested in this episode because I don't think I'm a very good meditator." And I want to know what makes you say that. Talk to me. Talk to me, baby. Talk to me.
So for me, I think my brain just doesn't stop, because even when I'm sleeping, I have really vivid dreams and things like that. So when I'm lying there trying to manifest, because I manifest, God, I can't even get the words out, meditate. When I'm lying there trying to meditate, I'm trying to quieten my brain, and if I listen to meditations and, it's like, let your hands be by your side and relax, and deep breaths in, and then I'm concentrating on the deep breaths, and then I'm thinking about the deep breaths, and then my brain's going, is that a deep breath, is that not a deep breath? And then if it says things like, oh, you can see a white light, concentrate on that white light, or something like that, I'm like, well, I don't see a white light, I could see a bit of pink over there, and I'm literally having a conversation in my head, and then I think, this is ridiculous. I cannot stop the brain just doing stuff. So for me, I've always kind of get frustrated, then just dismiss it as something that I can't do. But I'm hoping you're going to tell me that I'm doing it wrong, and that there are techniques or ways where we can sort of quieten our brains and relax into it.
Well, A, yes. B, I don't think there's such a thing as doing it wrong. I really, really don't. But I guess the biggest, you have just highlighted what loads of people who I work in terms of like meditation coaching, things like that with, you've just highlighted a massive, like key point, I guess, that so many people come out with about the whole busy brain thing. And I think, this idea that meditation is meant to be absolute silence and stillness with an absolute silent and still mind. That's the first myth that we're just going to debunk straight away. And can I also, just before we even start, oh, look, here she goes up on a soapbox. Any sort of meditation or any sort of calming of the brain, the brain activity, the thoughts, the heart rate, blood pressure, all that sort of stuff. Any kind of calming is better than none. All right.
Mm.
So if you are in the bath and you just sit and take 3 deep breaths in the bath, that is a form of meditation. Meditation is literally dropping your brainwave. Have I talked about brainwaves before on one of the episodes? I can't remember. I talk about it a lot. I can't remember if we've talked about it.
I don't know. We might have. I mean, to be
Okay.
honest, I forget yesterday, let alone what
Yeah.
happened like 6 weeks ago. I mean, Shells, we've got no chance.
So we spend most of our lives in a beta brainwave, okay? And that is active, it's thinking, what am I doing? Oh, I've got to pick her up, I've got to do this, I've got that meeting in 10. Oh, I never got that thing. Plan, 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 live, 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 live. When we are stressed, we go into like a high beta brainwave. So if you saw these brainwaves on a graph, they'd be like zigzaggy up and down. Your high beta brainwaves is like stress, it's anxiety, it's stress, it's panic, it's the I don't like using the word overthinking because I don't think anyone overthinks. They just think to the level of thinking that they're capable of, if that makes any sense. People often use it as a criticism or a way to put themselves down. Oh, I overthink, and it's like, no, you just think the way your brain thinks. Maybe every bugger else is underthinking. Thank you very much.
Love it. Yes.
Oh, look at her! What an
Underthinkers.
underthinker she is. But so we're living in beta brainwaves. When we're stressed or anxious, we go up into high beta brainwaves. Now, the whole point of meditation is to drop your brainwave. So instead of being a really angry, cross, zigzaggy graph, it's a bit more of a undulating, curvy graph. I wish people could see what I was doing with my hands here. But you kind of get the message. So we drop from beta into alpha brainwaves. Now, alpha brainwaves is where things feel nice. This is where you, I think we have talked about this, but it's good to reaffirm, where, you might, if we're in a creative kind of zone or a creative mood where the rest of the world kind of melts away a little bit, you can tell you're in alpha brainwaves
Mm.
then. If you're doing anything like Reiki or self-healing, meditation, even, depending on your beliefs and stuff, like some levels of prayer, anything that is peaceful and calm, if you feel in a relaxed state, your brain waves are in alpha. You can drop them even further and go into other brainwave states like theta brainwaves, and delta and gamma, but they come with like really serious, heavy, they experienced meditation, like, Tibetan monks sitting on side of hillsides and all that sort of stuff, and when you're asleep and different things like that. And it's all measurable. This is actual science stuff. I'm not a science kind of a girl, but this is sciencey stuff. It is proven.
Mm.
Joe Dispenza does loads of work on this. But anyway, yeah. So the whole point of meditation is to drop out of beta brainwaves. Now, if you get into alpha, that's brilliant. If you can take yourself deeper, like into theta brainwaves, that's lovely. That's amazing. That's wonderful. But let's aim for alpha, which is just a state of genuine relaxation, where the day-to-day just isn't there. But this takes practice. It takes like crazy, massive, massive practice. It takes discipline. Now, I'm not a good one for discipline, but this is something that actually I'm quite disciplined with. Because, you try it a few times and your busy brain kicks in, or something doesn't work, or you didn't see what they told you to see, or whatever. It's very easy to go, oh, I'm just shit at this. I'm not going to do it anymore. I'll find a different way
Mm.
to do things. But it does take a bit of discipline. Comes back to that choice. Do you want to be someone who meditates or not? But in
It's
saying that,
patience, though, isn't it? It's
yeah,
having the patience to keep going. It's like that's why I'm not skinny, because I do exercises for a few days and no weight's dropped off. So I've given
no,
up. I know it's
yes,
crazy, but
I
I'm
didn't
one of those
lose.
people.
Yeah, no, didn't lose 14 stone in a day. So what's the point?
I know. I would like so reactionary. I have to see it, and
Yeah, no,
this
I'm
is
the
my
same.
biggest challenge. So
Yeah,
this is why I know I need to give it time. But it's
yeah.
just
But it's not just about time with meditation. It's permission, because again, and particularly with women, I know, sorry boys, but I'm being very general here. Particularly with women, we don't meditation is something that is super, super good for us. The world tells us this. But because we tend to put our own needs at the bottom of the pile, we don't give ourselves time for meditation. So we won't, and we won't say, oh, I'm not going to start work until 10 o'clock so I can have some meditation time between 9:30 and 10. Or, you get in the house, you've got tea to cook for the kids, you've got stuff to sort out, this, that, and the other. You don't give yourself time, and then you're absolutely knackered. So you think, oh well, there's not really much point in trying now. I'll start again tomorrow. I'll try this tomorrow. We don't give ourselves time for that. Yet we will lie on the sofa for half an hour and scroll TikTok videos, or
that is
Facebook
true.
or whatever.
Yeah, that is true.
And rather than putting our phone down and going, actually, rather than doom scrolling at frickin' 9 o'clock at night, I'm going to do 15 minutes meditation. But we
Mm.
don't, because we're tired. And ironically, again, the fact that we're tired tells us that we need more meditation in our lives. But we kind of, we think, and I've heard this as well, oh, I'm not in the right headspace to be doing
Oh,
meditation.
I say that.
Yeah.
I say that exact line.
I'll wait until I feel better and then I'll start meditating. When it's actually the freaking meditation that's going to get you to that better fucking headspace.
I love it when you get angry. It's hilarious. Honestly, you guys can't see it, but she does all these hand movements and she gets up close to the screen. It's hilarious.
I look like I'm playing the fucking drums. So, it's one of these things. I guess through spirituality in general, people are always like this. And, I do it sometimes as well. Oh, I'm not in the right headspace. I haven't got the right kind of thoughts going on. But actually, if you just kick your own ass into doing
Mm,
something, it will help you reach that better headspace, and you'll
mm.
be able to take your practice
Haven't you
further.
said, Shelley, that you sit on the toilet and meditate?
I can meditate. I can meditate. And anyway, I was having this conversation with Paul the other day. You've got to get yourself into a state of like dropping those brain waves. We've
Mm,
talked before about, getting out of survival mode, that fight or flight kind of thing that we often find ourselves living in day to day. And meditation will, you drop out of that when you are meditating. And yeah, so it's just it's a bit of a brain switch for me. I am quite good. It's the same on a nighttime with sleep. I put my head down on my pillow and decide I'm going to sleep now. I can be asleep within literally 2 minutes. Boom, gone,
oh,
done. Paul hates me, but thinks that it takes him hours to get to
Yeah,
sleep.
I'm like your
It's gone.
Paul. I'm just like, I was going to say husband then. One day, one day. But no,
Not,
I'm like
not long,
Paul.
not yet though.
It takes me ages. And again, I think I put it down to my active brain because I'm running the day through my mind. Like I just think and think and think. And I was saying to my team the other day, well, I'm at home on my own and everything, I talk to
Yeah.
myself. So if I'm not talking out loud, my brain's talking. It just
Yeah.
doesn't stop.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, my brain's very like that. And a lot of other people, people say, oh, I've got an ADHD brain, so I can't meditate. And um this might sound very controversial, but everyone can meditate. You've just got to decide you want to do it. Now, this is the next myth that I want to debunk because, okay, the ideal meditative state is a clear mind, but you only get to that clear mind by perseverance, I guess. So you see these amazing meditators sitting there, and from an outside point of view looking in, you go, oh my God, they can sit there for a whole like 15 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, however long, with an absolutely clear mind. That is just not true. The difference being is that a good meditator, if you like, has a thought come in and they go, I see that thought, but I'm going to blow it away for now. I don't need to focus on that just for now. So rather than going into it and getting tangled in it, so you're sitting there and you kind of go, right, okay, I'm meditating. This is great. And then I don't know, a thought will float in. You've got to acknowledge it. If you try and ignore it and like run away from it, it'll just chase you and get louder and louder and louder, like a wasp. But you've got to look at it and go, okay, right, I'm thinking about the meeting at work tomorrow, or what such and such said yesterday, or what I'm going to wear on Friday night, or, oh, can I hear the washing machine making a funny noise, or whatever it might be. And you've got to go, right, that's a thought. I'm not doing thinking at the minute. And let it go. And whether you physically blow it away, whether you see it blowing away as a cloud, whatever, you just got to go, okay, come back later. And you know what? You'll do that over and over and over and over and over again. And if you spend your whole 15 minutes doing that, well, that's what you've done for 15 minutes. But it just takes practice. And after a while, the spaces between those intrusive thoughts will get bigger and bigger. To begin with, it might be like literally a second, or you might find yourself and think, oh God, I've gone right into that thought. And really, I should have just blown it away or let it go. And you go, okay, right, we'll blow it away now and we'll just start all over again. It takes patience with yourself to be able to let yourself do it. One of the reasons I love guided meditations is because it gives you something to focus on. But you've got to be flexible with it. There's no point in going into a guided meditation and expecting just to float along, creating this movie in your mind as this person's speaking in your ears. Often as not, if I'm leading meditations, people say to me, oh, well, you said I had to be in a library and I wasn't. I was on a beach or whatever. And that's absolutely fine. It's about giving your brain the freedom to do it. But here's another little myth debunk. When we're doing guided meditations, especially when you start doing guided meditations, a lot of people think that if they just lie there, a mystic force will come and play a little movie in their mind and make it all happen. You've been thinking this? That if you just lie there, actually the white light will appear and you will find yourself walking into that place and there will be a thing there and there will be a thing there and that will happen and that will happen. We're going to make it happen. You use your imagination. If I say to you now, okay, right, imagine yourself making a cup of tea in your kitchen. Can you do that? Can you just like literally imagine yourself and you
Yeah, I
go,
now can picture
yeah,
myself
yeah.
doing that.
Pick the tea bag up, put it. Oh, what mug are you using? Oh, it's the one with Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh on, and I'll put that in, and then I'm gonna go at the drawer and open the drawer and get a teaspoon out. Oh, there's 4 more teaspoons in there. Okay, put that in there, and the kettle's boiling, and I can hear the noise of the kettle, and I can see the steamy bit, and now the button's clicked off or whatever, and I can feel the feel of the handle, and I'm pouring the hot water onto my tea. I've splashed a bit on the bench because that's what happens. Then we're going to go to the fridge and we're going to open the fridge and we're going to get the milk. And of course, is there something iffy going on in the fridge? Is there a block of blue cheese at the back there that I forgot to get rid of? Or, you talk yourself through it. Guided meditation is just that. It's a guided visualization. It's someone saying, right, imagine this in your head, imagine this in your head, imagine this in your head. And we have to actively do it. So if someone in your ear is saying, there is a white light shining down on you, for the majority of people, particularly when we start guided meditation, you have to put the white light there. You have to go, right, I'm going to create a white light. And then they'll say something like, and you see this white light now turns to green. You have to turn it green. You have to use your brain to imagine it as turning green. And then when you do this and you practice it, and your brain gets used to telling these stories like this, one day you'll be going through one of these things and something will appear that you did not put there. So the little voice in your ear might be saying, and you're walking through a beautiful forest and you see the light shining down through the trees. So you like, right, paint a picture of the trees and the light. Okay, I'm there. I'm walking along. This is nice. And you can hear the birds. Yeah, okay. I tweet, 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 tweet. I can hear the birds. I can hear the, holy hell, there's a deer. She didn't tell me to put a deer there. There's a freaking deer. I didn't imagine that. And normally, especially when you're just beginning, when you go through a situation like that and something pops in, you'll go, ah! And you'll wake yourself up and you'll come back and you'll be that like surprised about it. Your heart rate will go back up and your brain waves will go back up and you'll be like, oh my God, I didn't put that there. That disappeared. What does it mean? Oh, I've got to look it up on Google. What's the spiritual meaning of a deer? Blah, 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 blah. And you just get so excited and carried away about it. But we have to put these things there to start off with. You can get to a point where you've trained your brain to chill out so much that these things will automatically happen. I'm quite lucky because I'm a really visual person. So, I can just, it just all comes, it is just there. But that's taken me years and years and years of getting used to allowing that those images and
well,
things.
I was thinking that when you were speaking, I was thinking this now will make sense of why you are so visual, because you always able to so quickly and easily articulate how something looks in your mind.
In my mind.
So it makes sense that it's obviously taken that practice to get you there and things like that. Yeah, I just need to get the patience for it, I think.
It does
and I don't want to
patience.
stop my active brain because I don't want to put it out to the universe. I don't want an active brain because I love my active brain. But I suppose it's about finding a time to start. Like you say, not again, it comes back to maybe not beating yourself up where you don't do everything exactly like, if you're going to do like an exercise program, and it's for 30 minutes, but you can only manage 15. And then you beat yourself. Oh, I've just nearly yanked my headphones out. And then you beat yourself You beat yourself up because you've only done 15. Well, actually, you've done 15 minutes. 15 minutes. That's brilliant.
Yeah. It's better than what you were doing, isn't it? Yeah,
so absolutely. I think it's that thing of, for us out there like myself that would say we're not very good and don't do it because we think we're not very good. I think what we need to do is actually just start.
Yeah.
And just see what happens.
And you know what? If you do 5 minutes, 5 minutes is better than 2 minutes. If you do 10 minutes, 10 minutes is better than 5 minutes. Just do what you can. And as well, this idea that, it has to be the same thing every single time. Play with different things. Some people love silent meditation, where they just literally, just lie there or sit there in silence. Other people like to do guided. We can do walking meditations as well. I've got a lovely walking meditation that I think it's in the part of the Return to Reiki program. I'll write one. It'll be fine. Where you actually, put your ears in and go for a walk, and the little voice will guide you through breathing. It'll guide you through noticing colors or being grateful or feeling the earth beneath your feet. So you can do active, awake type meditations.
Oh yeah, that sounds quite appealing.
And then it's, I guess, in that situation, you are just practicing dropping your brainwaves. You're just practicing dropping yourself out of like survival mode, even just for 10 minutes or 15 minutes when you go for a walk or sit in the garden or do whatever else. But I will also just raise a point because, and we've talked about this before when we talked about the anxiety, we did the anxiety episode, and maybe it's even in other episodes that we've done too. Our bodies are absolutely addicted to feeling stressed, and they do not like it. They are, and they do not like it when we take action to bring ourselves out of survival mode or out of those high brainwaves, because the big old spiky high brainwaves, beta brainwaves, tell our body to produce cortisol and adrenaline and all that stuff. Our bodies get so hooked on those chemicals, that anything that we do that stop the production of those nasty chemicals has our body freaking out. So if you try to meditate, and your body will play tricks on you. If you try to meditate and you sit there or you lie there, and then the movable itch is the classic. So you get an itch on your foot. So you have to move to itch your foot. And then the
Yeah.
itch is behind your knee. And then is it your bum? And then, oh, you've got an itch on the back of your shoulder. Or, oh, now there's something tickling your face. Or, oh my God, is there a spider crawling up my leg? Shit, shit, shit. No, there's not. All of this stuff is your body trying to sabotage you from meditating. It's horrendous how it does it.
Well, I think my body must do that then all the time,
Yeah.
because that's exactly what happens with me. I just, yeah, something will be distracting me that I feel I can't focus on it.
Yeah. Or you'll get like, that sensation where you just have to move your foot, or you just have to shuffle your shoulders or your bum or something. And it's your body, as it drops out of survival mode, it's your body having a freak out going, shit, you're taking my drugs off me. Literally. But what we need to do is to give our body enough evidence to see that actually the chemicals that are produced when we are relaxed and we are happy, when we visualize happy, lovely, gorgeous new potentials for our future and nice feeling thoughts and all those things, we have to build up a level of evidence for our body to understand that those chemicals feel nicer to it than the stress chemicals. But they're so scared of letting go of their addiction to the stress chemicals that our bodies will literally fight us all the way. The key to it is perseverance. And if you get an itch on your foot, and it's awful and I hate it, but I do this now even still. If you get an itch on your foot, you acknowledge it. You say, my foot is itching. This itch is not real. And it will go away. It will just go away without you even itching it. I'm a big believer in stillness for deep meditation. I love the stillness, absolute silence. Just it's just this like sweet spot of pure, I'm out of my body and going off in wonderful places. But you can't react. So if your hand feels a bit tingly, you just gotta leave it alone. If your bum itches, you just gotta leave it alone and look at it and go, I know what you're doing, body. It's all right. You don't have to be afraid. We're doing something really cool here, really nice. But again, and this all happens on that subconscious level. If we are doing something that is so good for us that it will help us manifest and attract success and abundance and all this lovely stuff, that is going to make us healthy, that will literally improve any, health condition that we might be carrying, it will rest and settle our mind and take us out of any twiddly fiddly bits that go on in our heads, like anxiety, OCD, all of that kind of thing. All of that stuff's safe because we know it. Who will I be if I don't have all this stuff going on? What will life look like if I'm wealthy and successful? Who will I be if I don't have this pain? And again, very, very subconsciously, what we do is we go, oh, actually, the idea of that is just too scary for me. So I'm just going to stop myself from doing the stuff that makes me feel good, or that might actually help this. And it's not nice. And you know what? No one likes to hear that because nobody wants to feel responsible. Because I honestly believe that we can heal anything through meditation. I really genuinely,
Mm.
hands on heart, do. But we've got to believe, we've got to be able to let ourselves. And if there is a little part of us that's afraid to heal or afraid to manifest or afraid to, receive or whatever, we won't let ourselves do it. And it's all linked. So if you're carrying feelings of, being unworthy, then you will not let yourself float off into lovely deep meditation. You've really got to work hard to get over those feelings and allow yourself to, drift into that blissful state.
So I suppose, and I know the answer to this question. I know what answer you're going to give me is what I should say, actually. Sorry. I was going to ask the question of, would you say there is a sort of, what's the word I want? Like, I can't think of the actual word I want to say the phrase, but where there's the best time of the day to meditate? And I think your answer will be, well, no, it's down to each of you and your individual situation. But I think for me, I'm always groggy when I wake up in the morning. So arguably, would that be a time to meditate? Or like you say, before you go to bed, for example, rather than scroll on your phone, just lie there. And if you fall asleep, happy days. Or if you just relax for 5 minutes, again, happy days. So, you know, you've obviously read a lot of books and done a lot of things. Is there any studies that say this would be a good time to meditate or whatever, or does it simply come down to each individual person and what's best for them?
I think for someone who is what I would class as not a, deep experienced meditator, i.e., someone who hasn't been meditating daily for over 18 months, go with what feels right. If you are trying to force yourself to meditate at a time that doesn't fit with your life, your energy levels, your thought processes, your work, it's not going to work for you.
Mm.
But when it comes to meditation, Joe Dispenza is my absolute inspirer and teacher, and he says 4 o'clock in the morning is the ideal time. I
What?
can tell you, never in my life have I meditated. I've meditated at 5. I went through a bit of a phase of getting up silly early and meditating at 5 o'clock in the morning. Didn't make much difference, if I'm honest. But 4 o'clock in the morning, it's to do. Oh, now I might have to come back and clarify this, but it's to do with chemical levels in your body and the amount of. It's a word beginning with M. Melanin. It's something to do with sleep and a chemical. Yeah, as I say, I am not sciencey. I will clarify that, but it's something to do with those levels in your body. So 4 o'clock in the morning is the optimum time for meditation.
Well, bog off. Am I getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning to meditate?
No.
No freaking way. I mean, I'll probably just be getting into a decent part of sleep at that point because I'm such a bad sleeper. So I'm one of those sleepers where, you know, the smallest sound, I'm awake.
Yeah.
When my daughter's ill, I don't know if you ever do this when the kids are sick, even though she's like blooming teenager now, but when she's really poorly and being sick, I often say, look, come and sleep in my bed because I need to know that
You're not drowning in your own vomit.
Yeah.
No, get it.
And I will know when she's about to be sick and I wake her up because I just get this sense and I just know. And then as it gets closer, you know, like the body, like her tummy and stuff makes noises. And so I literally wake up at the smallest thing.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine if I had just got to that lovely moment in sleep at 4 in the morning. And then I think of Joe and go, no, I've got to get up.
Yeah, Joe Dispenza says I've got to. No. It's funny because when it comes to kids being ill, I am on it. So like, you know, when you hear that fateful mom in the middle of the night shout, I'll be up out of bed and halfway because we're like townhouse. So I'll be up halfway down the stairs and not even be bloody awake. You're like, oh, okay, we're here, we're going. But for everything else, now, before me and Paul got together, my ex was in the police. He did night shift an awful lot. So I was used to being very brain switched on daytime and nighttime. I was just, always on. I was on duty permanently in the house. Since me and Paul got together, and I don't know if this actually shows a deeper level of trust, safety, the fact that I just know he's got me completely. But now Paul has to wake me up to tell me my alarm's going off. It really does.
So you go out like a light and then you don't wake up in the morning. And Paul will be lying there going, for God's sake, she's fast asleep next to me and I'm wide awake. And then in the morning he's thinking, bloody hell, alarm's going off. It's woken me up and she isn't even waking up.
Admittedly, he's normally awake before my alarm goes off in the morning anyway. But yeah, I am no when it comes to sleep. But again, I'll put it down to the Reiki because I put my hands on myself to go to sleep, not in an inappropriate way. Thank you very much. Would get you off to sleep quicker anyway. But I put my Reiki hands on before I go to sleep every night. And it's just like I don't even consciously do it anymore. It just flows. It's just set up to flow through the night. And I just literally out, boosh, bang. The only thing that really wakes me up is if Paul does this like tsunami thing where he like bangs around in the bed. He can't just like gently turn over. It's like he has to flip the whole bed upside down when I don't know if anyone else's partners are like that. And the amount of times in the night where I'm like, what are you doing? It's like,
well, don't moan because at least you've got a nice man in your bed next to you. I'm in a big bed all on my own, taking me back to my disastrous love life. So
Helen, the more you call it a disastrous love life, the more it will be a disastrous love life.
I haven't learned anything, have I? I mean, no. I bet our listeners do better at this than me, and they'll be screaming down they'll be screaming, listening to it. You can't say that. You can't say
that. Come on, listeners, we'll take it back to episode 1 and just make a listen to the whole damn thing all over again. I'm just kidding.
But I do know when I did used to share a bed with people what you mean by that, and like, oh yeah, it's just drives
us mad. Or if he goes goes to the loo in the night, our ensuite, so the ensuite, the bathroom door is like on my side of the bedroom, and for some reason, like, and I know he's a boy, and it's a bit different because I if I need a wee in the night, I don't put lights on, I don't even open my eyes,
No,
it's like
I'm
I've
the
got to keep the
same.
tired in my
Yeah.
eyes so that I go back to bed and go back to sleep easy. But Paul, opens the bathroom door, light on. I'm like, "Ah, what's going on?" Like, dying, melting. I can't go with it at all. While
Oh,
we're
dear.
talking about sleep, I'm going to link sleep and meditation because actually another big question I get asked very frequently, if I give people meditations to do or they've signed up to one of the programs or whatever, I very often get people messaging or emailing saying it was a lovely meditation, but I fell asleep and missed the whole entire thing, and I've no idea what we did. And then the next thing I knew, all I heard your voice was saying, "Okay, now breathe yourself back in your body, and when you're ready, open your eyes." And they're like, "Shit, where the hell did I go?" And I think when you are meditating and you go off into this lovely state of relaxation, you watching that little video in your mind or sensing it or feeling it or whatever, and you vanish off to this place. I don't think it's the same sleep as what we have like on a nighttime when we actually go to sleep. It's such a deep meditative state. And I think particularly with guided meditations, where you have a purpose for the meditation to heal something or to release something or to work on a particular, whether it's forgiveness or hidden beliefs or abundance or, whatever. I honestly think that there are times, and I've seen this so many times through Reiki healing as well, is that if you vanish off, let's call it, through meditation or through healing, it's because you are not ready, or it's kind of like the universe putting you to sleep so it can get on and do some healing for you, because you're going to argue with it. You're going to hold on to it. The universe is like, no, we're going to take these hidden beliefs away so that you can get that beautiful new house or that perfect job or all that money that you were asking for. Let's remove these hidden beliefs. And if we were like actively conscious, we'd be like, oh no, I can't do that. I'm not worthy. Oh my God, it's not safe for me to achieve this. So the universe goes, right, you sleep. And we go so it can go in and shuffle about without us arguing with it or trying to control it, or, all the other wonderful humany things that we do. So I think if you fall asleep when you are meditating, I honestly believe that whatever message is coming through, if it's a guided one, whatever message is coming through, it'll go in. It'll absolutely go in. It'll be doing its thing, but we just aren't allowed to be conscious for it or present for it because we will get in our own way, which, we're always very,
Yeah.
very good at doing. And then there's things that you can play subliminally, that like different healing frequencies and stuff that you can put on, or chants and things through the night. You can listen to them all night long. And they do their healing and everything while we're asleep.
Yeah,
So
I've bought a few subliminals over time, but I would only get them from people I truly trust,
yeah.
because
Oh
then I
my
worry.
God, can you
Yeah, because I worry,
imagine?
like, what are they saying? Like, what are they saying? And then putting into my brain. But there's
I
like
should
what.
release one, Helen. I should release a one and say it's for empowerment and confidence or something, then drop in the middle of it, like 2 hours in, and you will buy my Witch Your Own Way course tomorrow, and breathe, and this, and you are as
But
strong
that's
as
the
no
you
other.
wouldn't do that
I know
because
I
you're a
wouldn't
good
do that, no.
person. But I believe that there are people out there that probably do that. So
Charlatans, Helen,
yes,
charlatans.
absolute charlatans. So I think with subliminals, although I
Yeah,
do believe they do work, I
yeah.
think you've got
Oh
to
gosh,
have
absolutely.
your
Yeah,
trusted. So I wouldn't just go on YouTube, for example, and type
no.
in subliminal and then just listen to
No.
some random person. Absolutely no way.
And then the next day you're wondering why all you can eat is custard, and you're like, oh my God. Or you're sending all your money off to some random bloody bank account. No, no. And I suppose that's the same for like guided meditations as well. On YouTube, there are so many amazing, amazing, amazing meditations, but there are also some that are not. So it is a case, I would, if it was a new meditation and you didn't know the person you were getting it from, I would listen to it through while you were doing the dishes or,
Mm.
whatever else, just to make sure that you are comfortable with all of the stuff that's taken place within that meditation.
So I know you never ever plug your business, and she doesn't.
I do,
Shelley,
you
like
know.
me, does the podcast. Well, not properly, but you do, like me, do the podcast just because you're really passionate about it. But
Yeah.
in all honesty, I mean, I don't know, but at this moment in time, do you have any meditations and things, or is it something that you are working on?
So well, actually for a long time now, one of my to-dos has been to get my YouTube channel up and glowing and filled with loads of meditation videos and things like that. But I started receiving some feedback from people saying that they were getting halfway through my meditations. They hadn't listened to them because they trusted me to begin with. And then YouTube was dropping adverts halfway through. Like I had a sleep meditation, and then this bloody crazy loud music comes on halfway through with an advert. Now,
Goodness.
can
And
you
abruptly
imagine?
wakes you up. Oh my goodness.
Now, it's sending out the message that actually I'm paying for sponsorship and or being paid for sponsorship and to have adverts put into my stuff. And absolutely, I have not received a penny from YouTube. Might not be bothered if they were paying me for it. No, it would be because it takes away the whole point. B, it's absolutely rubbish. Someone settling down for meditation and having an advert in the middle of it. So it really,
Yeah.
really miffed me. And I was like, right, I need to do something different. And actually, I want to something consistent. And I need something that's going to provide new meditations. And I need a range because some people love a great big long 45-minute adventure into the realms of the ascended masters and to ride unicorns and go and visit the fairies and do all sorts of wonderful things. Other people just like a quick 5-minute burst for setting some intentions on the morning, or a
Mm.
15-minute listen to set yourself some gratitude vibration before you go to sleep, or whatever. So I wanted something that gave a range. I wanted something that I could continually update, but also was reliable and secure, so that people would know they could press play, and for that 15, 20, 30
Yeah.
minutes they were safe with me. So Helen, my big idea for 2025, and I am actually, it's another project I'm really, really excited about.
So is this do hear it first? Yeah,
Yeah,
first
yeah.
one of those.
I am launching a meditation library. Now it's going to be based on kind of like a membership. So you sign up to it, you pay me some pennies every month, and you get access to the meditation library. Now, this library, it'll start off very small, as will what money you pay me. And then over the months, I will put more and more and more in. I'm thinking probably about 4 a month I'll drop in there, maybe one
Mm.
big one and a few smaller ones for different things. And then, so you'll pay a set price, and that set price will stay for maybe the first 6 months, something like that. But then, if you can imagine, by the end of 6 months, you can have 6 months worth of, resources in there. So whoever signs up, whatever price you pay when you sign up, that's fixed for your subscription. That's done. But then, if you
Mm.
come in new at 6 months, you would have to pay the next price up, if that
Yeah.
makes any sense. Just simply because those original people have been loyal and faithful, and they've trusted in me from the
Mm.
start, and they're building their collection, whereas later on they kind of come in and it's all kind of there for them. Yes, I'm really excited about this because I'm planning on having all kind of different guided meditations. I'm going to put some what I would call the more like talky things, so mixed with music, and I'll take people into like a relaxed kind of state. And then once they're there, I suppose it is a bit like subliminals, but in like a really nice way. So it'll be about, empowerment, or it'll be about believing in yourself, self-worth. It'll be about being melting resistance, being open to abundance, gratitude. There'll be
Oh
loads of
wow.
stuff. There'll
Yeah.
be some for going to sleep. I'm going to do a little series on going off to meet different angels or different ascended masters. There'll be some stuff on manifestation and but raising your vibrations. There'll be physical healing stuff and literally I've just got ideas coming out of all orifices of my body, and I'm really, really excited about it. So yeah, that will be coming out in I'm hoping by the end of January. I've just got to start recording and get going. This has kind of come because I did last September I launched Mindset Meditations for Weight Loss, and that was 21 days of daily 10 to 15-minute meditations based around losing weight by loving yourself, clearing up limiting beliefs about how you feel about yourself, about what, um how your weight is affecting your life,
Mm.
self-sabotage, different behavioral patterns, comfort eating habits, and all sorts of stuff. So really, really positive kind of messages to help you love yourself into losing weight. And that was so successful. And then this year in September's a big one for me. I launched my Return to Reiki program, which was
Yeah.
for people getting back into Reiki. And that was 6 weeks of daily meditations that was all based on Reiki healing for different things. And I'm like, okay, well, actually, I love recording meditations, and I get such of all the work that I do, the feedback I get on my meditations is like through the roof. I mean, bless, I had one lady message me to say that she would have paid the price of the entire course just for one particular meditation. It had that much of a positive
Mm.
impact on her. I'm always getting really good feedback about that. And I know, when you just know that it's your thing. Do you know what I mean? So I love doing it, and I love the feedback, and I love the fact that just listening to my voice, which I don't think is that great, but listening to my voice actually helps people to change the way they think about things, the
Mm.
way they feel about themselves. I'm helping shift people out of this crazy high beta brainwave down into some nice alpha levels.
Oh, you are
Um,
amazing at that. And funny you say about your voice. People that I know that listen to the podcast all say to me, "Oh, we love your friend Shelley's, accent and how she sounds."
how she
And
says, "Mom."
yeah, oh yeah, we love Bam, don't we? But so yeah, it's you do have one of those really natural, calming,
Oh.
lovely, warm voices.
Oh,
So
I
yeah, so
still can't take
we
compliments.
well, no, you need to learn. That's true. But we really Shelley doesn't actively plug loads of stuff. But honestly, guys, in 2025, if you need to get onto this meditation journey, so Emma, we know that this was one for you. You need to be looking at Shelley's website in January 2025 and signing up to this.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, to be honest, and while we're doing the whole plugging thing, I do have a mailing list, and I send out a weekly email. And in my weekly email, it's always got the link to the podcast, always,
It
always.
does, because I
Um,
get it.
Yay! And my weekly email has like hints and tips for stuff. There's generally a theme depending on what I'm feeling that week in
And it's
terms of,
funny.
well, I do try. Manifestation or witchy stuff, or law of attraction, meditation, feeling good about yourself, self-worth, self-confidence. Like there's loads, like just about everything that I do kind of comes up in these things. So if anyone isn't subscribed and they want to subscribe, I will stick. If you listen to the podcast through the website, there's actually above, if you scroll above, there's a little link that says join my magical mailing list, and I will put it on as a link in the overview for
Shelley, you need to
the
write this
episode.
down, because
I
we
will.
always say we're going to do. She's writing it down now,
I am
listeners.
writing it.
Because
Look,
Shelley and I are
hotline.
really rubbish at, yeah, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then we don't write it down. And then, I mean, I'm definitely perimenopausal, so I've got brain fog all the time now and stuff like that. So, yeah, if I don't write it down, we got no
Look,
hopes.
there, Helen. Episode 3, mailing list
Yeah,
link. You
she's
can't
done it. I
understand
can
that. It's
see it.
there. It's
I
there.
can see it.
It's there.
Oh no, that is so helpful and good. So I am going to try and do a bit more meditation before we finish the episode. Um, I just need, so I've been chatting away to my angels, ever since we talked about that in that episode about
Yeah.
we only ask our angels when we need them. So I've,
Yeah.
like I say, really been active with talking to my angels.
Yeah.
We have lovely little chats. And I said to the angels, oh, you know what? I said, I'm still onto this love thing. I'm just not giving up on it. I know my love is out there. Is it just a case I've got to be patient, or, is it going to come into my life soon? Can you just give me some signs? Anyway, I said it would be great to see some angel numbers, is what I said. Well, I'm consistently now seeing, when I say consistently, twice, but twice in close proximity, which is like, I need to just understand what this one means. And if I see it again, I'm going to literally go, oh my God. But 555. So what are 3 5s? What are the 5s symbolizing?
Well, different schools of thought say that different numbers have different ways of being. I'll tell you what I feel about 5s, and then I will tell you what hold on.
She's reaching for a book.
Then I'll tell you what Doreen Virtue, who will not talk about Doreen herself, but never mind,
No.
what she says about that. So for me, 5s are about teaching. It's about passing your knowledge on to other people. what that's got to do with anything in terms of your romantic life, I'm not entirely sure.
Well, maybe it's nothing to do with romance, and maybe that's what the universe is trying to tell me right now. Helen, just stick with it.
Focus
Love
on
is
spreading
not
your
your,
word.
yeah, love is not
Yeah.
your thing. You need to be looking at this. Maybe
Or
that's the message I need.
maybe you're going to be asked to do another speaking job and you're going to end up meeting Mr. Perfect while you are doing something like that. Da, 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 da. Oh, so Doreen Virtue, I have Doreen Virtue's little book of angel numbers 101. Now, although Doreen does not do this sort of stuff anymore and has committed everybody who has, ever followed anything spiritual to be some sort of devil worshipper or demonic person or something, she's just gone loopy
She's
basically.
gone weird, yeah.
But she's still, I grew into my spirituality with Doreen Virtue. Doreen Virtue, Diana Cooper, all that sort of stuff. And obviously Diana Cooper's still very sane and talks to angels all the time. But yeah, but her early books, I still find them very inspirational, full of wisdom and wonderfulness. And who she was before her weirdness. I still love that version of her. So I still have her cards, I still have her books. I won't get rid of them. But she says 555. Huge changes are rumbling throughout your entire life. To keep these changes on the highest possible course, be sure to keep your thoughts positive and stay centered in prayer and affirmation.
Well, that's a very positive number, isn't it? So let's see if I
yes.
keep seeing it, or let's see if I start seeing different ones. But literally, I asked for that, and ironically, I didn't even notice it to start with. And then I suddenly went, oh my God, there's a 555. And then later the same day, again, I was just blissfully doing whatever. And I went, oh my God, it's 555 again. So I was just like, they're speaking to me. They are speaking to me.
100%. And you know what? You didn't specify what number you wanted to see. So,
Should you do that? Is that a recommendation to
well,
say?
you can if you want, but then there's a little bit of micromanaging involved there. So for me, seeing something like that, I think it's less about what the number means and more about the fact that, you asked for something and you got it.
Yeah.
So I think we all dig into the meaning of things, don't we? Just, I want to know what this means. I
Yeah.
want to know what. Sometimes it's just about going. I asked for angel numbers and I got triple five
I think
twice.
they're really enjoying our chats,
Oh
Honestly, I think
yes,
they thought, Helen, this is nice because you're talking to us all the time now and not
yes.
just when you need something.
Yeah. And doesn't it feel nice for you as well to kind of have
Oh,
that
I love it.
relationship?
It's my little routine now in the car in the morning, predominantly in the morning going to work. And then I've got to admit, right, it is still November, but guess what I've put on in my car?
Christmas songs.
I have.
Christmas songs. We have them on coming home from school. That's the compromise. That's just because Tabitha has to have a Christmas songs on. So we too have Christmas songs on in our car. I have a challenge for you.
Oh my goodness. I'm
No,
actually
it's
starting
not
to sweat
bad.
when you say you've got a
No,
challenge.
no, it's nice.
Okay.
So we, rewind the clock back. You were asking angels for help when you needed it. Next step was to just reach out and talk to angels in general as you were driving to work. You're enjoying that. That's feeling good. You're getting interaction. You're getting something
Yeah.
back from that. What my suggestion for you next would be is to focus in on specific angels and see if it feels different, see if you get different messages, different signs. So literally pick an angel a week and just say, oh, hi, this week I'm going to spend time with Archangel Michael or Archangel Jophiel or Archangel Haniel or whoever, and just talk to them as you would talk to the whole of the angelic realm. But just see, because what I think you will find is that the angels who work closer with you, you will get a deeper feeling from, you will get a bigger response from, you might get more signs around you because they are closer and working in you and through you. And it will help you to understand which angels are your angels. I mean, they're
Yeah, because
all
when
our
you
angels.
mentioned that before about you knew which were your angels and
Yeah.
which were your favorites and the one that came to you, I did find that interesting because I thought, oh, I don't know that about mine. So, okay, I will take on the challenge.
Yeah.
First of all, I need to go and just triple check all of the angels,
Okay.
remind myself of them. I'll obviously start at archangel level because
Yeah.
obviously there are hundreds of angels.
Yeah.
And I
Well,
I will take on that challenge.
yeah. Well, what I would say is just literally just what's the first name of the angels what the first angel name that pops into your head, even if it's a really like popular or well-known
But it's
one,
always
or
Archangel Michael that's the first one that pops
start with
in.
Michael. Start with Michael, because that's where your vibrational level probably would be most comfortable. So start with Michael
Okay.
and see what
Well,
happens.
tomorrow morning. Actually, I don't drive because we're recording this on a Thursday and to come out on this Sunday, and so I don't drive into work on a Friday. It's my one day of the week I work from home. However, I am driving in the afternoon, so I will speak to Archangel Michael in the afternoon.
I'm sure he won't mind. I'm sure he won't mind at all, at all. You know, when we're talking about tires, I was going to actually tell you about this. So I've mentioned about my slow puncture earlier. Well, and I know we're going off topic here, but never mind. This is fun. Maybe we should just not just drop the theme completely and just sit and chat about stuff.
Well, yeah, God knows what would come out. Maybe it's not recordable.
We don't know. So I've had this slow puncture for a little while now, and it's been driving me mad. I've been putting air in my tire every day and thinking to myself, I need to get this fixed. I need to get this sorted. I need to get this fixed. I need to get this sorted. But it's never really felt. I've always had an excuse. I'm too busy. I haven't got time tomorrow to get it dealt with. And as long as I can keep topping it up with air, then it'll be all right. It'll be fine. And then last night I was hit with this sudden compulsion, I think would be the word, that I have to get my tire fixed. I have to. To the point I was even looking online for like mobile tire repair people to come and do it on the drive. None of them got back to me, may I say. Terrible customer service, not happy. Anyway, and it was getting to a point. It's not, yeah, it's been stressing me because it's an extra thing, but it's not had me like, shit, I really need to get this sorted until last night. And then this morning, woke up, I was like, right, put more bloody air in the tire because it was flat as a fart again. And then got up to Hexham, dropped the kids off, and I was like, literally, it was all I could think about was get your tire repaired, get your tire repaired, get your tire repaired. So I rang up a place in Hexham, wonderful Lloyd's Tires in Hexham. Can I just say, customer service second to none, absolutely fantastic. Fantastic prices, fantastic people. Lloyd's Tires in Hexham, just brilliant. Sorry when they're not paying me, but like I just think
No, I think shout them out.
never go
We've
anywhere
saved
else.
the day by the sounds of it.
So yeah, so I rang them up and I said, yeah, just bring it in. Took it in, literally 10-minute job, sorted. 20 quid tire repair, driving away. I was like, this is amazing. This is wonderful. Just brilliant. Now, so that was, I mean, by the time I dropped the kids off, got down there, there was a little bit of a queue, waited. It was about half an hour, all in all, that it took me to get full turned around. I then come out, hit the A69, same route that I take from the kids' schools back home every single morning. And obviously it was very icy and frosty this morning. And I drove past, one lane was kind of half closed. There was fire engines, there was ambulances, there was police, there was a big tow truck thing. There was a car down in the ditch. There was another car that was so crumpled you couldn't even see what kind of car it was. I think there was a truck involved. There was another car in front of that. I mean, I got really upset and I was like driving along, calling my angels in, because
praying that everybody's okay.
Yeah, it looked like it would be a situation where, well, if no one was hurt, it would be a bloody miracle. And I was driving along and then I stopped and thought that's not been long of happening. That hasn't. And if I hadn't have been going to get my tire repaired this morning, I would
You might have been in that.
I would have been on the road at that time. And I went, oh my God, was I given a slow puncture literally to lead me to not be on that bit of road this morning? I drive that road every single morning at that exact time. And I was
so sometimes we can take positives out of even very annoying and or very awful situations.
Absolutely.
There are sometimes just something in there.
Yeah. And you know what? I kind of, although, yeah, the accident, awful. And, you know, I was saying this to Paul, the fact that when there was an accident like that, yeah, it must be horrible for the people who were involved. But I always think about the people who are at home getting told, you know, imagine getting a phone call, your son's been in an accident, or your daughter, or your mom, or your husband, or, you know.
Well, I remember the day I was in the office when my ex-partner, the one I now refer to as the violent one, I'm sorry, but that's what it was in the end. But the day the police rang me about his accident, And I remember them ringing me, and I screamed in the office, like literally screamed. Everybody stopped working. And they are the calls or that knock on the door that you just do not want in life, because at that first moment you don't know. And like they were saying, you know, he thank God wasn't dead, but they said this is bad and we don't know, you need to get down to Derriford Hospital now. And that is not cool you want to be getting. So yeah, it does make you think about those, you know, people in those terrible situations that do. How have we gotten to this morbid situation? We've gone from the angels saving us, and now.
But no, I think the point I was trying to make was the fact that, you know, when it comes to working with angels, and angels keep, whether it's the angels, ascended masters, our higher selves, the universe, God, you know, whoever you want to call it, I think when they are working for us, we, you know, poor them, because here's me cursing the fact that I've got a slow puncture and why have I attracted this, and, you know, bloody hell, when actually they've potentially done that to keep me safe, and all I've done is slag them off for it. It's like, how no. But what would you rather have, you know, a slow puncture or be involved in an accident? Now, I'm not saying I definitely would have been in that, or, you know, whatever, but I think when you work with angels, and when you are like your mind goes that sort of way, it's interesting to look and go, you know, there is a reason everything does happen for a reason, and a lot of the time we never understand the reasons and we don't find out the reasons. But yeah, so I've gone totally off topic.
Well, we're off of meditation, but it was my fault because I steered us onto angels. But it's only because, you know, listeners, like we've always said, we'll keep you updated on the things we do. And as you know, I definitely go off and try things, and I want to show you. And honestly, I get so excited. Like when these angel numbers were appearing, I was like, oh my God, I was like so excited. So it's all good. And so thank you, Shelley, again for all your wisdom. I hope you all like it, dear listeners, but particularly Emma, as it was one that she requested. So and we are happy for other requests. We have things planned out, but if there's specifics you want, we can move our schedule around. We can move our plans around. So we obviously would always love requests. Obviously the usual, like, rate, subscribe, tell your friends, comment, everything else.
Yep.
All that jazz.
Can I just say, I loved how you just said, dear listeners. You sound like her from Bridgerton. I love that, dear listeners. Oh, that needs to be
I've always thought I was like in an older, you know, like what am I trying to say? It's late in the day now for my poor brain. My perimenopause brain is just going, Helen, give up. You know, back like maybe 1920s or 1930s or something like that. I could see. Maybe I was former life back in the 1920s and 1930s.
We haven't done past lives yet, have we?
No, but we have got it on. I think it was on for season 2, chapter 2, sorry. And then we've moved it into chapter 3, I believe.
Yes, we have moved it into chapter 3. So you're going to have to wait until possibly, what that'll be like.
That'll be February, March time, won't it? February time, because we end chapter 1, chapter 2 in end of January, so then we'll have a break. So it'll be end of February, because it's actually the first one of chapter 3, past lives.
So you have to just wait and see. Something to stay tuned for. But for now, dear listeners, we will sign off, and we will say thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sticking with us. And thank you, gorgeous Helen, for being my inspiration for all of my magical waffle. I love it. Love it.
Well, I just love you sharing, teaching, guiding. You are my master teacher. You know, I love it. I feel very blessed I have you. Everybody's loving a bit of Shelley. Everybody that listens to this, you have become all of their master teachers. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts for everything you teach us, your amazing advice. And we'll be back in a week's time. What are we talking about on our next one then, Shells?
Next one. Let's have a look at the old list, Helen. Next one, we are happiness, freedom, and fulfillment, which is kind of coming under the umbrella of authenticity, living an authentic life of happiness, freedom, and fulfillment. How to do it, how to find it, how to find out what that means, because a lot of us don't even know what that might look like in our life.
Well, we all need that in our life, so let's look forward to that. But until that time, thank you, everyone. Take care, and we will speak to you soon.
See you later, everyone. Bye.
Bye.